Hi guys, Nige back here again, and this time I've got another inbox review for you. And this time we're going to be looking at Eduard's brand new boxing of the F-104, okay, the Starfighter, the Zipper. Okay, so this one really appealed to me because of the colour scheme, with it being the Vietnam three-tone camo. I've got a few three-tone kits to do. The Thunder Chief, this one, Phantom I believe, and I just like the overall scheme. But the boosted bonus with this one is you actually get some resin. Okay, so in days gone by, some of Eduard's Profi Pack ones would get a little bit of resin, maybe a few wheels or whatever, as well as the photo etch and the decal. So with this you get the seat, balance sheet, you've got two cushions, wheels. I'm not so sure what that is, but we'll look at that. You also get 2, 4, 7 different marking options. And the plastic in this one is not the Hasegawa plastic, it's the newer tool kinetic plastic. Okay, so you're going to get a modern kit within this. Okay, now if we look at the price point of this kit is about £35 to £40. You get kinetic plastic, which is around about 35 up to sometimes £50, some of their kits. Okay, you get the photo etch fret, so that's what, about a £10, and then you get mask sets and maybe another £5, and then you get the resin as well, which again is another £5 to £10. I'm not 100% certain, as well as all the markings, and that's all put together in a lovely package by Eduard. Okay, I mean, that is a really cool box art. That's really cool. It's really what it drew me into the kit. So what we'll do, we'll get straight into the plastic and we'll have a good look. So as normal, we start with the instrument panel. Now, some people laugh at me with this, but I'm one of these people that like what the actual original aircraft was look like. So as this, it's one seat. If you put another seat behind there, you've got a lot more of a lump on the fuselage. So for me, that just ruins the aesthetics of the actual aircraft. Now, if the aircraft designed to have two seats, like the F-14 or some other, the Tornado, they're actually designed that way and they look okay. All right, so as you can see, we've got a single seat fighter from the Vietnam War. So as we open it up, we've got normal glossy booklet from Eduard. We have the sprucles out, the photo etch, the mask and the bracing. Okay, and then you've got the aqueous and Mr. Colour paint call outs just there. Moving straight on to the cockpit. Okay, so the parts in red you have to remove. You remove those ready for the photo etch. Okay, you can actually put a decal on top of those if you want. And the photo etch, it's all colour. Okay, so that's shouldn't be too much of an issue. And then we've got the bracing seat. Okay, so removing it off the block. I don't think this is 3D printed. I think it's actual proper bracing, but we'll have a look at that. Okay, putting the rails on the back there, adding the harnesses again, which is colour photo etched, removing parts and all that sort of stuff. Now, some of these parts, like this loop here, I'd probably replace with wire because obviously it's two bits that have been folded together and stuff like that. Okay. And then you've got two options for the seat. Right, so that's the two options. So you can see the two options. That one's straight across there, and that's got a little indentation in there. We then move on to adding the seat to the cockpit. Moving on to the engine, the nose wheel. Okay, putting some I don't know what that is. That must be the nose. And it's asking for, all right, so you need to remove that there for those markings. Okay, so don't forget to add nose weight, but it doesn't tell you actually how much weight to add in there. We move on to adding the main wheel bay. Okay, it's just this slots in really nice. So I have built Kinetics F-104 before. Okay, and then put it on the other P parts, and then you can see how it all sandwiches together inside the fuselage. We then move on to the avionics bay, just behind the pilot. Okay, removing parts, adding some foot wedge bits. Okay, so that really jazz that area up. Okay, moving on to putting the coning on and the heads-up display. Some other panels going in. So we've got the nose wheel, we've got the belly panel for going over the top of the main bay, and at the back just there. And then moving on to putting the tail, the intakes on, front windshield and the nose cone. We've got our undercarriage with our brassing wheels, the doors, adding all those onto there. Okay, adding the doors on, remembering that when it's you can actually have it closed or partially opened. Okay, these doors here. Okay, got some fins to go on, air brakes. So moving on to the wings themselves. Before then adding those to the aircraft, then you have a cover, the rear fuselage, so the rear canopy. Okay, you can have it either open or closed to show off all that avionics bay in there. Some parts here for installing the cockpit open. Okay, some foot wedge going onto the actual cockpit glass. Okay, so we've got open and close. The pier tube going on, the fueling rod in the front there, and just adding all the little odds and sods and going on there. Before then we move on to the wing tanks or the sign winders or whatever you're going to have on there. Mass, okay, for the canopy and the wheels. And then we've got the colour call out. So we've got Major Charles A. Driscoll in Thailand, 1967. Okay, really nice three-tone, four-tone camo with the grey on the belly, then the tan, green and black on, yeah, three-tone. Okay, some have a darker colour on as well. Okay, then we've got an overall silver, really colourful. Okay, with all these stars and rainbows and all that sort of stuff on there. Another one from Lieutenant Colonel Robert Picardo from July 1967. Again, a three-tone one. So this is Hello Dolly. Oh, I forgot to tell you what the... Okay, so that one is Nancy J with a, looks like a bulldog on the front. That one hasn't got a name that I can see. It's probably on there somewhere. Okay, so Hello Dolly on the, with the nose type and the stars and the bits on the back. Then another one from 1965 from South Vietnam. We have another one from 1967, and this one's called Pussycat. You can see the what looks like the Pink Panther on the front there, but a Pink Panther that needs something more to eat. Then another one from August 1967, and that's got, I can't read it, that looks like it's got a ram or a sheep on the nose. And then we've got another one from 1967, Major Hugh B. Spencer, and that one's called Sex Machine. And then we've got all the stencil data just there. Okay, moving on to the plastic. So as you can see, all in one bag. So we'll get this out. and start having a look. Okay, so starting with the fuselage. Okay, it's kinetic plastic, so you can see there's some really nice detail on there. Okay, all the way down this. Some nice rivet detail on the tail, the wings, the fuselage. Okay, leading edge slats and flaps. Okay, really nice detail on there. Only problem would be these doors. I can see, look, the injection pin marks in there. Moving on to some of the actual parts. So bulkheads for the wheel bay, the coning for the nose, the avionics, cockpit panel, and again some really nice detail all over this. Air brakes, intakes with some nice rivet detail on there, the part behind the cockpit, nose, again main wheel bay, cockpit part on its own. Okay, if you got in there and picked out some of those buttons and what have you with paints, it should just come up really nice. Turn it over, and again maybe just some in the doors. See just a little bit of an ejection pin mark. So now we've got some weapons. Okay, so the kit seat on here, the wingtip, fuel tanks, compressor blades, engine itself. Again, probably something you need to deal with just in there. We've then got the clear parts. Some clear parts. They look really nice. No distortion. Nice and clear. Yeah. With some nice detail actually on the frames themselves. That brings us on to the extras. So we've got Eduard photo etch. Okay, so you've got the actual cockpit parts just there, the avionics bay, and then we've got some add-ons for the other parts. So some plates and some bits and pieces for the seat and stuff like that. Okay, so that's really nice. On to the brassing parts. Okay, let's just take these out. So main wheels, nose wheel, okay, the hubs, which you'll see are exquisite. Okay, and then the bang seat, and again that's absolutely beautiful. And the two different types of cushion with the fabric look on there. All right, so I'll just put these out of the way. Really nice. I'm not going to show you the mask because you won't be able to see it, but we've got a mask set as well. And then that moves us on to Eduard's decals. So let's go and have a look. And we'll just take the main sheet out. Okay. So Eduard's decals. They look okay for Eduard's newer version. As you can see, the actual carrier film's quite big, okay, around the edges, but I don't see any problems with using these as normal decals. Just be aware that when you put them in the water, they will separate from the backing sheet rather quick. Okay, a lot quicker than normal. All right. Alright guys, and that's Eduard Zipper. Okay, now like I said, we know what the grey plastic's like. That's, you know, it's kinetic grey plastic. It's a really, really nice kit. Goes together really, really well. Like I said, I've built one, so it's worth it for that. You then get a full 2 sheets of photo etch. You get a mask set, and you get this lovely brassing resin in there as well to build up a lovely looking bang seat and a set of wheels with all the detail actually on there, and weight on wheels too. Okay, I didn't have a look what that bit is. Oh, sorry, I'll find out when I build it. Okay, so that's Eduard's Zipper. Okay, limited edition Zipper, as they've called it. Worth the money? Yeah, I believe so. Even if you don't go out and get use these decals, you want to go out and get some more. I think it's well worth it, if I'm brutally honest. Anyway, that's it for now, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.